Hey, what's up, podcast? Welcome back. My name is Dmack. Welcome to Dmack's podcast. And today we got my boy Ricky on the episode. Me and Ricky go way back. I think we might have met on social media. I was out in China. I think he was trying to come out and get the job that I was leaving from. And then he contacted me on Instagram. I came back to LA. We met up, talked about the job. And the next thing I know, he was out in China working at that job that I was. So, um, it should be a good episode, just talking about his experiences traveling the world, playing and coaching basketball. So, Ricky, go ahead and introduce yourself, bro.
What's up, man? I'm Ricky Odige. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I've been playing ball since I've been playing for fun since I was about five.
Yeah.
I'll be 30 next week. And I've been playing competitively since I was in about the sixth grade, up until now. And also, like D-Max said, some coaching experience, past about 8 or 9 years,
Yeah.
coaching and training.
So, born and raised in Brooklyn?
Yeah, I was born in Brooklyn. I left New York. I left Brooklyn and went down to Florida when I was around 14. I was ninth grade for high school. For basketball reasons, I left, went down there. But yeah, pretty much born and raised.
Okay. So, from Brooklyn to Florida, how was that difference? Is there a big difference? I know it's all on the East Coast compared to LA, because all I know is LA. So, being from Brooklyn and Florida, how is there a difference level of competition, or like how is that?
Just like even before basketball, like just culture shock. Yeah, it was because I'm from Flatbush. I went down and I moved down to West Palm Beach.
Okay.
And it's just like I don't know. Like I walked into school, like when I walked on campus for the first time, I was looking around and I'm like, where's the metal detectors? Where's the bars on the windows? Where all the security guards and all of that? They were like, nah, bro, this is school. So I was like, damn, it's safe like that. All right, cool. So that was surprising for me. And then as far as basketball goes, I think we all know like the biggest difference, leaving New York and going down south, it's the athletes. Like they got some athletes. We all make the jokes, oh, what do they got in their water, this and that. It's like they got some super athletes down there. So I had to get used to that.
Yeah.
I had to get used to that, seeing like I'm on a fast break on defense, and this dude is 5'10". So I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go get this one. And then he goes and dunks it. I'm like, wait, hold up. So I had to get used to that real quick. Like they got some athletes down there.
So how was your high school experience? Like being in Florida or wherever you did majority of your high school career. How was that experience?
It was fun. It was cool. I definitely learned a lot. Cause like even in the sixth and seventh grade or seventh, in middle school, I did play competitively, but it was still just strictly for fun back then. So getting into high school and then, starting to have those conversations about, oh, hey, you kind of can play, bro. You might be able to take this thing somewhere, and then people start talking about scholarships. Excuse me. People start talking about scholarships and, how important grades are. So I'm like, okay, so this basketball thing is serious. So that's when I started to learn like what basketball could do for somebody. And from there, started taking things serious. I was slacking on my grades real early, thinking that it didn't matter because like I didn't know any better. So people told me it was like, oh yeah, to stay on the team to play, you got to get a 2.0. And I was like, 2.0 out of 4.0? All right, bet.
Yeah.
So me not knowing better, like, hey, I went and got me a 2.1, and I was like, hey, I'm good to play.
Yeah.
Not knowing that's gonna get it done, and it wasn't gonna get it done. So my first 2 years of high school, that was my mindset. And then my last 2 years of high school, I'm sitting here going to night school, taking extra classes, this and that, just so I could catch up and actually do something with this basketball thing. Because it's a cliche, but it's one of the realest ones. You're a student athlete, student first.
Yeah.
So I had to learn that, and I learned that the hard way. But hey, I learned. So
Yeah. So after high school, did you go to college? Did you play any
yeah,
college?
I went. Funny story. I have one of my teammates, one of my high school teammates. We ended up leaving college. I mean, leaving high school. We went to three different colleges together. We went to 3 different colleges together, and we played in 3 different countries together,
Dang,
all after high school.
that's crazy.
All after high school. So the same guy I'm talking about, so after high school, like senior year finished. Everybody's talking about, oh, college this, college that. Oh yeah, where you going to school? Where you going to school? And I'm like, yo, y'all really think I'm that good? Cause I ain't got no looks right now.
Yeah.
Y'all the only ones asking me about school. Ain't no schools actually asking me about school. So what we did, bro. Hey, do you remember the first iPods that came out?
Yeah.
Not the first iPods that came out with the camera on the back.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So boom, I'm not getting recruited, right? But people in my ear, yo, you need to be going to play school. You need to be going somewhere. You should be getting a scholarship. So I'm like, nah, I'm gonna make this happen. So we take these iPods, bro, and we take our game film and we record the little clips in front of the computer like this. We record the little clips and then we throw it all on the computer, chop it up, and then just throw a track on it. And we threw it on YouTube. And that and like, a little, resume type of thing, stats, telling them about myself, this and that, a couple contacts to reference, coaches, teachers, this and that. And we sent those out to, I had to send it out to at least 1,000 schools. At least 1,000 schools. So I wasn't getting recruited. So I was doing the recruiting. I was out recruiting schools.
Yeah.
I was out recruiting schools, and yeah, eventually, a few offers came in, and we got the chance to go play. So we went out to Michigan our first year. I went out to Michigan my first year. I played JUCO. I played 2 years at JUCO. I was at Curtin Community College my first year, and I went to Broome Community College my second year. That's upstate New York. And that was like we that like I tell that story because it's like a lot of kids end up in this situation to where it's like you're good enough, you're definitely good enough, but the phone is just not ringing. So some people, they hang it up, but other people, it's like, yo, if you really wanted that bad, go make it happen.
Yeah. How I know that might be difficult, especially with a lot of uncertainty, like you not knowing where you're gonna go next. How like did you ever think about giving it up at all?
Nah, I got a real stubborn mentality, man. Sometimes it hurts me, sometimes it helps me. This is one of those. This is one of those situations where it helped me. I wasn't giving it up. I wasn't giving up on that one
Yeah. So
because
what
it's like I'm listening.
no, what advice would you give somebody in that situation? Because I got a lot of young guys that's like, oh, I'm trying to go here, I'm trying to go here, but they might not be good enough, or they're not getting no looks, and they might be like feeling doubtful about their college future. Like, what would you tell them to like keep them encouraged or whatever? Because you've been through it.
Um, in this situation, I would say, and not to get spiritual or religious on anybody because I don't know where anybody stands. We're here talking about basketball, so we're gonna talk about basketball. But one of my favorite sayings, I will call it a saying. It's from the Bible, but we'll call it a saying. Um, Faith without works is dead. So you could think you're the coldest person, you could be the coldest player, but if you don't do the things to get you where you want to go, all that faith you have is dead, bro. You got to put the work in too. So you can have all the faith in yourself. Oh, put me on a court. We hear this all the time. Oh, just put me on a court. I'll take care of the rest. Give me the opportunity. I'll take care of the rest. Like, bro, go find an opportunity. So like, just put in the work, whatever it may be. It may be unorthodox, but hey, put in the work.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I know you've traveled around a lot. Where are some of the places that you've been to?
Um, I, I first left the country for basketball reasons. I first left the country. I went to Canada. I was out there. That was just like a combine tryout type of situation, but it was definitely an experience. It was my first time in a gym full of strictly pros. So that was like a real eye opener. It was like a fail out type of thing. I went up there. I played. If you ask me, I played decent. I obviously I didn't. I didn't get the job. You feel me? but I took something away from it, and and I feel like that's another big thing. Like no matter what you do, where you go, like it might be a success, it might be a failure, but take something from it. As long as you take something from it, it's never gonna be a failure.
Yeah.
So learn something from everything. So like my first stop was Canada for a tryout. That didn't really work out. I went back home, got back in the gym, got on the drawing board. My next stop was after Canada was Chile. I went out to Chile. I went out and did a tour out there. It was just a 4 game tour. Go out, play, come back. So that was cool. That was an experience. We got to play against we went out there as a group, and then we played each other, and then they picked. They made an all-star team out of the 4 teams, and they took us, and we got to play against the national team, the Chilean national team
Okay.
that represents the country in the Olympics. So that was definitely an experience too. It's like, I'm on the court with somebody that the Chilean locals look at as their LeBron James.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And like that's what I was told. I'm like, they like, yo, that's our LeBron. That's our LeBron. So I'm like, oh, word, okay, cool. So this is somebody, I may not know him, but this is somebody. Like, basketball's worldwide. He's somebody to somebody. So I'm gonna take this in. I'm gonna soak it in. So that was cool. I went to it was Canada, Chile. I made a stop in Colombia. I did a tour in Haiti. Uh, I went to, and I spent my last 3 years in China. You mentioned that earlier. The China, yeah.
So traveling a lot, did you deal with any like diversity, like any like really difficult things that you had to experience?
Yeah, a lot. Oh, I didn't mention Mexico, but this story, man, is actually from Mexico. I feel like anybody who's crossed any type of waters to go play has had some type of Mexico experience.
Yeah.
So, experience. I got out there, right? I actually went out there a few times. Once was for a tour. Once was for a tryout. Another time, I actually got called out there to go play. So when I got that call, I did my trip, whatever. I got down there. So we touched down in the city late at night. It might be like 11, 12. So, it's a quick stop and get food, drop you off to your room. So we do that, right? Now, halfway through the night, middle of the night, man, we get it. I'm banging on my door. Bang, 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 bang. I got a roommate at the time, another American, two of us living together. We both just got together. So we opened the door. Buddy jumps in there. He's like our chaperone or whatever. Same guy that picked us up. He looks in there. He looks at me. Looks at my roommate. He's like, oh, okay, boom. All right, cool. Y'all both in here. I'm like, yeah, we here. What happened? He's like, oh, nah. They just found a head in the road up the street, and they said it was a darker guy. So I didn't know if it was one of you guys.
Mm.
So this is night one, bro. This is day one. This is day one. I'm not there for 24 hours yet, bro. And I'm getting banged. I'm like, my door's getting banged on to make sure I still got my head on my shoulders. It's not my head. They found up the street.
You remember what
So that was an experience. Huh?
you remember what city you was in?
I was in Santa Maria, Zacatepec.
Oh, okay.
Santa Maria, Zacatepec. It's a rural area. Like that whole situation. Like later on, a few days later, we found out it was cartel business, yada yada, a whole bunch of stuff that we didn't really weren't involved.
Yeah.
But it was just, just period. To have somebody come looking at you, looking for you, making sure it's not you. Like, damn, bro. So, that was that. And, I could go on about the China things too, but I know you, like, firsthand, man. We spent, we was out there together. Firsthand. So,
Them experiences for sure. Like even though looking back on it, we might have been like scared or just worried in the moment just because we're not familiar with the situation, not familiar with the area. But looking back
yeah,
on it, it's like, dang, I went through this, I went through that, and it's all just an experience, and it all adds up to these great stories at the end of the day.
yeah, for real. Uh-huh.
Um, so let's talk about China a little bit. You was there for 3 years. Was that the country you was in like the longest amount of time?
Yeah. I actually spent the longest in China. I spent more time in China than I have in majority of, places I've lived in the US.
And
I've bounced around the US more and faster than I did in China. I was more settled down in China than I ever had in a long time, bro.
crazy. That's crazy. So how was that experience living out there?
A hell of an experience. That's how it was, man. I got out there.
So you
I
played
got out there.
and you coached, right? You played and you
Yeah,
coached.
I was doing both. I was doing a whole lot of both. Like I was making sure I stayed busy. If I didn't have any games, I'd find a little coaching gig for the week, or vice versa.
Yeah.
I was just trying to make sure I stayed busy because it's China, man. It's a lot of opportunities. Like you walk out, you leave one building for one opportunity, you can cross the street and boom, a whole nother one pops up.
Mhm. Yeah.
So like you just gotta, if you're looking to stay busy, it might not be that hard.
Yeah. So when you were
So
out there, you because I know initially when you went out there with Hoop Easy, you had like a contract and you were strictly working for this one program. But after that,
mhm,
you was kind of like freelancing most of the time, right? Like here, if I got games this weekend or I'm gonna go coach this weekend, you wasn't really
yeah,
set in stone with anything after that, right?
nah, because I spent 5 months. I spent 5 months under one company, and per contract, I was only allowed to deal with that one company. So any other opportunities that came my way, I was forced to shovel it away. So in those 5 months, I was realizing how much I was pushing away, pushing away, pushing away. So it's like I felt crazy at the time.
Mhm.
So after I got out of that situation, I just said, I'm never going to sell myself short again. Like if I can handle it, if I can do it, I'm gonna do it. And sometimes that meant, I got a 3 o'clock game or a 7 o'clock game this morning, and then I gotta hop on a 2 hour train ride for a 12 p.m. game, in another city. And if I can make it work, if I can handle it, I was doing it, man, because the opportunities were there, and I just didn't want to. I felt like I passed up on so much in the past. I was trying to play catch up. So,
Yeah, and I would say that's probably why I would say I didn't have a bad experience the first time I was in China, but it was just that I was under that contract for a year, and I didn't even do
mm,
a whole year, but them 5 or 6 months that I was stuck in that contract, I felt restricted. They didn't even want me to go like hoop at other gyms. They didn't want me to like
yeah.
travel the city a lot. They really just wanted me to go to work and go home. But I'm
Hmm.
assuming because
It's like I think because I think they were trying to hide us, bro.
hmm yeah,
I
exactly.
think we were being hidden, man, because of how much opportunity there is out there,
Yeah,
and I know how easy it is for somebody,
and it's crazy because that's exactly what happened. After my first like 5 months, I met
Mhm.
Coach Easy, and he pretty much took me from USBA, the first program I was working with, and was like, "Hey,
Yeah.
we got these opportunities, we got this, we got that." I'm like, "Oh, that's smooth." And he like next week I was gone. I was with his program, so I guess
Hmm.
that's why. And it's crazy because after that, somebody else took me from his program, and I went to them. So it is a lot of opportunity out there, and I see why like they want to have you like in a strict contract, and they want you to like
Hmm.
be low key because it is a lot of opportunity out there for American players, and you can easily just be up and going the next day, coaching or playing for some other program. That's
For guys like us, bro, for guys like us, man, 'cause like we got to know each other, bro, and I know you. Like, God, let me talk about you. A guy like you, bro, like you constantly trying to better yourself. And in China, when you're trying to do that, it's not hard, bro. Like you find those opportunities. You find those opportunities. So no matter how big the company may be or how good, whatever they got going on, there's always something better, bro. There's always better. There's always better. And for us, guys that like to elevate, they try to throw an ankle on our ankles type of thing, like, nah, bro, you can't go, you can't go.
I for real felt like that. Yeah, that's crazy. Um, But okay, you spoke about me a little bit. Let me speak about you. I've seen you coach before, and I can see the passion when you coach, and I think you are really good, like people's person. Like you got a good personality. You can speak to people real well. Is that kind of how you got into coaching? Like, how did you start like training and coaching people?
The very first time, the very first like session I ever had, I remember I was still in school. It was the summer after my junior year of college, and one of the parents, because we went to a small. My school was in a small college town. My school was in a small college town, Bolivar, Missouri. Like the school was a town. We had the school, we had a Walmart, and then a bunch of little random businesses, and
Yeah,
a big high school. So it was a little college town. So like one of the local parents, just wanted their son to start picking up basketball. I think the kid might have been like 8 or 9 years old at the time. And she asked me like, "Hey, can I send my son to you? You just teach him a couple things." So never had been taught before. We just sat there and did some dribbling drills, and I said, "Okay, stand there and make 10 shots." I wasn't really fixing any technique. I was just like, "Okay, go over there and make 10 shots. Okay, go over there and make 10 shots." But that was 20 my junior year. That was 2012. That was 2012, spring 2012.
Okay.
And yeah, that's how it got started. So me still being a player at the time and still trying to develop my game, I took what I was getting from people that were working with me and what I was giving myself from when I was working on my own, and I'm like, okay, so that's how you know tell that kid to do this and get this kid better at that. So it was just kind of I was wearing both shoes at the time.
Yeah, yeah.
I was in both positions at the time, so I was kind of able to just translate, like just take and give, take and give, take and give.
Throughout your years of training and coaching, do you have a preferred age group? Like, would you rather stick with the little kids, with the high school kids, or a little bit older? What's your preference?
Age group, I don't really have a preferred age group. I just got a preferred attitude, man. Just want to get better. If we want to get better, it don't matter who you are, what level you at. Like, we gonna work, man. We gonna put in some work.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. I like that. Um, where do you see yourself in the next, 3 to 5 years? Like, you got any plans that you want to do? Any projects you're working on? Where do you see yourself in the next like 5 years?
In the next 3 to 5, man, if COVID allows, man, I still got some miles left in me. I think I'll still be playing, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Ideally, I'll still be playing, man.
Okay. Okay. What you got? Any um you know
But aside,
overseas opportunities coming up?
well, right now I'm in Ghana. Like, I'm currently in Ghana right now, and I'm talking to a friend of mine that's in Liberia about a possible something. But you know how that goes. It's just conversation right now. Um, and then, I mean, hey, China, those calls never stop coming. So
Sure.
I could always go back there. But that's cool. I'm sure your phone ringing too, bro. I'm sure those like but that's just if COVID allows it, because borders are closed right now and everything.
Uh,
But I mean, I'm right now. I'm almost at the point where I'll take what I get. Phone call, phone rings, bro.
yeah.
I'm packing up.
Yeah, for real. We gotta chop it up after this conversation because it's a few opportunities that I'm gonna take advantage of when this COVID thing calms down. So if you up for it, we could probably go somewhere together or work out some stuff that I can help you with.
Okay, yeah, that's a bet, man.
Yeah.
Definitely, definitely, bro.
But beside basketball, do you got any other like hobbies or things that you got an interest in besides basketball?
This is always a tough one for me, man. Not really, bro. Not really, and it's because if I'm not playing, then I'm just on the other side of it, coaching.
Hmm.
So it's like I'm just always it's like I'm really all basketball, bro. Honestly,
Yeah.
I mean video games, but does that count?
Mm, Nah,
Nah, nah.
killing time unless you do it like seriously. I think video
No,
games.
no, no, no. That's a time killer. That's a time killer for me.
Yeah.
Like, cause if I'm not playing, then I may be coaching. If I'm not coaching, then I may be just skills training with some just a one-on-one type of thing.
Mhm.
If I'm not doing that, then I might be watching some film. If I'm not doing that, then I'm just regular watching the game. Like, it's a lot of basketball for me, bro.
Okay, I feel it. I feel it. So at the end of every podcast, I ask my guests these three questions that I have, and so I'm gonna ask you this first question right now. And so these few questions might be kind of hard to answer, so take your time if you need to take your time.
All
Um,
right.
so the first question is, what do you consider success? Everybody has their own idea and their own opinion about what success is. What is success to you?
Success for me, man, is it's a very personal thing, definitely, and it's definitely from person to person. It's a good question. Um, Success for me is it's just about setting and achieving goals, man. Like, if my goal, how can I put this? Let's use the alphabet for example. one person's goal might be A to Z. Another person's goal might be just A to C. So if that person that wanted the A to C gets their A to C, who is this A to Z guy to tell him, oh, you're not successful when he got exactly what he wanted? So I just feel like it's knowing what you want and then just going to get it and just going to get it. And in certain cases, you may not even get it, but that's not necessarily a failure either, because the effort alone, like, means a lot sometimes, does a lot sometimes. Like we might like miss out on, being able to pat ourselves on the back sometimes just because we didn't hit something exactly on the point that we wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
Not realizing the progress and the good things that came in the process of barely missing that point.
Yeah.
So that's success for me. It's like setting and achieving your own personified goals.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's a great answer. That's a great answer. I'm a go back and listen to this again just to make sure that I'm gonna let that sink in. That's a really good answer, bro. Um,
Appreciate it.
so the second question is, so have you seen the movie The Matrix?
A long time ago. Actually, you know what, bro? I've been wanting to rewatch that lately. It's funny. I've been thinking about rewatching that because I seen it when it came out. When we was kids. So
Yeah. Yeah, I like that movie. I probably watch it every other month just because there's so much good stuff in it. And every time I watch it, I think I learn something or I see something that I didn't see before. But
yeah, I'm gonna definitely go rewatch that. But I'm gonna.
the reason I ask that is because this next question I ask you is when Morpheus confronts Neo about if he wants to take the red pill or the blue pill. So I'm gonna ask you if
Remind me which is which. Like what? Which?
I got you. The red pill, if you take the red pill, then you get exposed to all the truth, all the information, all the corruption that's going on behind closed doors. You get exposed to everything. If you take the
Hmm.
blue pill, then you just live your day-to-day life, go to work, have your family, and you don't really know about everything that's deep, like all the that's going on in society. So the red pill, you get exposed to everything. The blue pill, you just live in your regular life.
Hmm. Man, as scared as I would be, bro, I'd probably force myself. Like, I'd probably have to throw the blue pill out the window just so I don't take it. Because that's where I would want to go. But I know I need that red pill, man. Nah, give me the red pill, bro. Give me that red pill.
What?
I
Why?
don't, I don't want the blue pill, man. I don't want the blue pill, but I know I need that red pill.
Yeah, yeah. So why would you take the red pill though? I think I know. Go ahead. Why would you take the red pill?
I just want to know the real. I mean, it's like you said, I just want to know the real. Like, I'm not, at this point, like, at this point where we at, we obviously know. No matter how deep you want to look into it or think of it, but we know that we just don't get the real about anything anywhere ever.
Yeah,
And at this point, it's kind of like just fed up, bro. Like, just keep it a stack.
yeah,
I just feel like it's enough BS. Like, cause at this point, it's just getting ridiculous. Like, how done are we? How dumb do you think we are? Like the way that, like, I feel like they don't even try hard anymore to just fake the funk. They don't even try anymore, bro. It's just like, here's some BS. Here's some BS.
yeah. And I think, like you said, now it's not hard to see that there's a lot of stuff going on, which is why I think if I ask this question to a lot of people, most people are gonna say they're gonna want to take the red pill because they kind of feel that something's going on. If they didn't make it
Mm-hmm.
so obvious and they didn't make it so point blank for us to see that, we probably wouldn't even know that there is stuff going on behind closed doors. We wouldn't even know.
Exactly.
So we'll just say, like, red pill, what you mean? Like, what other stuff is going on? So I
Right.
feel you when you say like it's just out right in front of us right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um so this last question is not really a question. It's a statement or a message that I want you to leave to yourself in the future. So if your future
Okay.
self watch this video in 5 years, 10 years, what message
Mm-hmm.
do you want to leave him to watch?
Um, no matter how far you get, bro, don't forget why you started. Don't forget, like, when you was at your hungriest, You're most desperate, man. Just don't forget that. Don't forget that. Keep that same energy, no matter what.
For sure, for sure. All right, with that ends all the questions I got for you, man. I appreciate you coming on the podcast and sharing your story, bro.
Nah, I appreciate you having me, man. I appreciate you having me. I'm gonna definitely stay tuned in, man. This is dope. I like it.
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
what you got going
yeah.
on, man.
And I know you got a lot of stuff going on. You traveling a lot, you playing and coaching a lot. So in the next, I don't know, few months or a few years, you can hop on here again so we can see where you ended up.
Anytime, bro. Anytime. Just say the word. I'm here, man. Just
So
say the word.
appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. So
All right, man. No doubt.
for all my viewers, thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for all the future videos we got coming up. If you guys don't know, I am now on Apple Podcasts. So the app that you got on your Apple iPhone or iPad or whatever, that podcast app, I'm on it now. So go check out Dmack's podcast and listen in on all the episodes that we got coming out. All right, peace.
All right, man.
All right.